Hello, my name is Hannes. Full name is Johannes Herman. I'm, I guess, Dr. Johannes Herman. I'm the course coordinator for the Bachelor of Computing and do a lot of the little troubleshooting things around computing. I'm recording this for a couple of reasons. I would like to introduce myself. There are some students, especially first-year students, who don't know me. And really, I'm the person that people should generally be coming to if they have questions or problems or whatever. So it's easier, I think, for students to approach me if they have some idea of who I am. Also, I plan to be doing these fairly regularly, talking about the things that are currently going on. Now, you should be seeing here a window of Blackboard. This is my view. Looks a bit different from yours. That's okay. One of the things I'd like to point out is that one of the tabs, you see I've got lots of different windows here. One of them is called My Organizations. Now, if you don't have that open, that's fine. There's also an Organizations tab. The reason I'm talking about that is because I want to talk to you about this organization here, Computing Colloquium. That's how we do most of our communication. If I want to send something out to all the students doing computing, whether you are actually studying the Bachelor of Computing or very much anything else related to computing, or even just doing computing unit, it will go out through there. Now, if you are focusing on computing and you want to get links to job offers and changes to courses and units and things, do make sure you read those emails, at least the headings, see what it's about. If you are, say, a chemistry student and you're not really doing much computing, you're just doing your first year computing unit, you might be put into this organization just while you're doing that unit in case there's a problem. Adding people to this organization is automatic. That is, it happens around, the first few weeks of semester, and it's handled by the central IT team. And removing people from the course can be done by our support, who can put that request in. So if you don't want to be in there, we'll talk about that in a moment, but that's something I unfortunately can't help you with. However, what I want to talk about now is this Computing Colloquium. Assuming you have it, you should find it either in this window, or if you go to the Organizations tab, you should see that My Organizations, again, right top left, at which point you can see that there. I obviously get a different view from you, so I'm doing a student preview so it looks a bit more like what you'd see. When you come in, you'll see a bunch of announcements. So these are pretty much anything we've put out. So if this is your first time at Colloquium, do have a look through. These are the sort of things we will send things out on. You'll see there's a lot of advertisements about jobs or opportunities, internships, etc., etc. So if you're looking for an internship, don't ask us. Come and have a look on here and read the things here. If I learn about internship, unless it's a very specific one, such as it only applies to data science students or something, then I will put it out through here. If you want to get in touch with me, you can go onto contacts, and hopefully soon we'll have a bunch of other people on here. So it's got my email, my work phone, which frankly is not a good way to contact me. Email is normally the best way to contact me. If you send me an email, I haven't replied in a couple of days, and there wasn't an out of office message saying I'm not currently available, do feel free to just do a reply all to that email and remind me. I do get quite high processing times at time, but normally I try to get your emails within 24 hours or a working day. And if I'm a bit stretched, I find 2 working days is acceptable. If it's been more than that, feel free to ping me on that. I'm in 314 on the 3rd floor. I'm currently in 343, but I will be moving offices soon to the one next to it. So this one here will be up to date. I am around a fair bit. if I'm in the office, feel free to just come past and say hi. I don't mind that. However, if I'm busy and you drop past and say hi, I'll just say, look, I'm sorry, I'm busy at the moment, whatever. I do have a sign on the door, especially because I have meetings and online classes or whatever. If there is no sign on the door, that basically means I'm not available. So if you knock, you most likely won't get a response. If you want to make a booking, there's a link here which goes to the bookings page, and that will allow you to make a link with myself or any other coordinator in our school, so electrical engineering, computing, mathematical sciences, or for that matter, most of the UCs as well. If there's somebody not on there, like let's say your lecturer is not on there, feel free to have a chat to them and say, hey, look, why aren't you on that bookings website? And lecturers can opt out. Some prefer to have, for example, set consultation schedules, but some of them just don't know about it or haven't been added yet or whatever. So if they want to be added to it, they can talk to the admin team or me if necessary. What does this do? It means you don't have to send me an email saying, when am I available? And then we bounce things back and forth. You just follow this link and you can book in directly based on my Outlook schedule. You can't book in the 24 hours ahead of time, but still. There's also in the FAQ a bunch of things. So there used to be how to enroll, but you unenroll yourself, but you can't anymore. If you do want to unenroll, this is who you talk to. This is about units enrollment. I'll talk about that in a moment. This is about booking an appointment. The important thing is you go to the link, you make a booking, you will receive an email with a receipt saying you've made that booking. But that email does get eaten by Gmail and a bunch of other services, so always use your Curtin email address when making the booking. Also, if things change and you don't need the booking anymore, you can change or cancel it, but the change will not cancel your booking if it's 24 hours beforehand. So, and the lecturer won't even be told that you no longer want that booking. So if you're not sure that the booking has been deleted, that you've just changed or deleted, just send a polite email to the person you were making a booking with to let them know, because we do tend to be rather busy and it can be quite annoying to be waiting around for a student booking, especially because I have in the past come to university for the sole purpose of talking to a student who wanted an in-person meeting, and then that student didn't turn up, and that obviously gets a little bit annoying. For a start, it's a bit over half an hour just the travel time. Going back onto this, many of you will be enrolling at the moment. Sometimes you can't see a particular unit. That's fine. Often our units will be full, so this is how to do that. If you've got a problem, talk to Connect. That's what you're meant to be doing. If there's a clash between two units, let's say you have a clash between a lecture and a practical, we'll choose a different practical. If you have a clash between two lectures, and those are standard lectures taken in the same semester for your course, then let teaching support or myself know, because that's not meant to happen. But if you're doing something unusual, like you're doing them out of order or you've picked an elective, whatever, have a chat to the two UCs to see if it's going to be a problem for you. Often it's going to be okay. You just have to organize for any in-class tests or the like. So that's not that much of a problem. There's a bunch of other things in here. So if you look here, there's the course structures, which this is already slightly outdated, but I'll pop it up and show you. This shows you, for example, if you're computer science, here are your units. This PDI is in red. Anything that has a red square requires PDI, and that's the most out-of-date thing at the moment. The prerequisites haven't been updated. So computer communication, for example, now only requires UCP. It no longer requires DSA. If you see a half box like this, that means it's a concurrent prerequisite. So that means that in order to do ISE, you need to either have already completed this or to be doing it at the same time. So if you can't enroll in ISE, you enroll in PDI, and then ISE should become available to you. If it doesn't, you talk to Connect. Connect might say something like, "Oh, the unit is full. We need to check it." Connect always forget about this concurrent prerequisite thing, and the online handbook does not show that correctly. That's a known bug and has been a known bug for many years now, and is going to be fixed any time now, just like it has been just about any time now for the last couple of years. So just remember about the concurrent prerequisites. It's really only ISE and FCS here, and there's a couple in software engineering as well that have the concurrent prerequisite. One here, and I don't believe there's any in information technology. Also in the units and courses section is a bit about capstone projects. Some of you have been getting messages about that. And there's this key concept unit, the key unit concept. We have 4 units that are really important: PDI, FOP, UCP, and DSA. Those 4 units, so you'll take normally either PDI or FOP, and then you'll take UCP, DSA in your next semester. Your performance in especially UCP and DSA is often a very good guide to how you're doing with the rest of the course. So, because they contain a lot of the fundamental knowledge, if you really struggle with, say, UCP and only just scrape past, that doesn't mean you're going to struggle with every other unit, but there are going to be other units that will be more difficult for you if you haven't fully grasped those concepts. So we treat those a little bit differently, and that's what this is for. And I keep this one more or less up to date. I need to update it again for this semester, but this is for unit changes. When something changes, I will send out an announcement and I will change this. And I'll normally leave messages here for a couple of years. And I do have a list of recommended electives here as well. So there's a bunch of other things as well. You can just scroll through them if you want. And one other thing I'd like to point out is academic status. We handle academic status fairly carefully because computing is rather hard. So, have a read of this. In general, if you pass everything, you're good standing. If you don't pass everything, especially if you fail one of those key units, you might have your status changed to conditional. At that point, you'll be hearing from the school slightly before semester starts. So for 2023 semester 1, that will actually be probably next week. And you will then need to enroll in fewer units, have a conditional interview where you'll generally be told what units to enroll in, and there's basically follow that process, which is normally filling in a form we asked you to fill in actually on Computing Colloquium. So there's that. If you are conditional, go back to conditional, you can be terminated, which is also not the end of the world. My suggestion is if you're terminated, go and talk to the student guild, because they're the ones who can really help you. And it's probably better you get advice at that point from an independent group. Although, again, you can talk to your course coordinator, if you're Bachelor of Computing, that's me, or fairly much anyone else you feel like. Okay, that's what I wanted to say about this one. I also wanted to add a quick note about some things going on in the staff world. There is currently a ballot happening. I'm not sure whether any of you have heard about this. The union has been negotiating with the university for our ABA, so the conditions under which we work. You can probably guess that the way we work has changed a lot since COVID hit, and we've had to change a lot of things. And now with things like ChatGPT coming in, we're having to change a lot of things again. We've had a lot of additional work added to our schedules repeatedly over the last few years. And once we've had work added, it never gets taken away. So that's caused a few issues. Also, you're quite aware that the inflation is rather high. So we would like to not lose too much money. We're definitely going to be losing money. Our wages are going backwards quite a lot, but not by as much as the university wishes it to. So the university has put up this proposal. The union has said no. Staff are currently voting on the new proposal. As part of the failed negotiation process, the union has been approved for protected industrial action, so strike. We are currently striking. I'm a union member. I'm a union delegate, in fact. And we're trying to do that strike in a way that, frankly, annoys the university, but has as little negative impact on the students as possible. If that doesn't succeed in the long run, you'll probably find that there is going to be more and more impact on mundane matters. For the moment, the reason I'm telling you this is because one of the actions we're taking is to avoid using the unit outline builder, which is the particular piece of software that the university requires us to use to create the unit outlines. So that means some of you will not be getting the standard unit outlines at the start of semester. Your unit coordinator should still make clear the important things. What are the assessments? When are they due? Whatever. And you can ask for the information that is specific to the unit in writing from the unit coordinator, even if they're on strike, but they just won't be using the unit outline builder. So me personally, I might just copy and paste a bunch of stuff into Word and pass that to the students. It'll be unofficial, but the students won't be disadvantaged. It is just something where that's going to cause a lot of red lights to go up on various people's dashboards, and administrators will get annoyed, that sort of thing. It's a relatively mild strike action. There will be others in the future, unless the staff agree to accept the vote that's currently going on. If they do, the strike action will finish because the negotiations are over. If we say no, which is of course what I hope, then we'll go back to negotiation, and more industrial action will happen as part of staff trying to express displeasure with what's happening and the process and whatever. Feel free to come and talk to me outside of this if you want to know more about it. Anyway, heads up, you might not get unit outlines. And I believe the student guild is also supporting staff in this action, so feel free to talk to the guild about it. As a side note, do consider joining the guild. It, as far as I'm aware, doesn't cost you anything, gives you a bunch of discounts, and shows your support for the organization that that basically is meant to support you. And there are times when you really want to go and talk to the guild. You also should possibly look at a bunch of the guilds, clubs, and organizations like COMSA if you're not already a member. I think every person involved with computing is a member. I join every year. I mean, I'm not a student, but I want to show my support. And COMSA is a really, really good part of computing. There's a very strong link between having some sort of social connections as part of your course and the amount of enjoyment you get in the course and the success. So obviously we want you to succeed, but we also want you to enjoy if at all possible. Anyway, this has been slightly longer than I planned, so thank you. The future ones are likely to be bits shorter because I won't be going through the Blackboard thing. Good luck.